When are we going to start talking about Bravo? When are we going to start talking about the Bravo curse? And when are we going to start talking about half the people on Bravo are either under investigation, going to be indicted, or maybe they're going to do it Ashley, marry an old man, get nothing, be living under their means, but I don't think they, well, I don't know. Michael, you heard what he got going on in Africa. I don't know. Michael's comeuppance might be in the pearly gates of heaven or hell, should I say. But let's talk about Wendy, okay? Let's talk about Wendy Osefo. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a show called Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? There was a husband and wife duo, Nigerian born, credits. They just were in the Nigerian American parade. Wendy and Eddie Osefo, okay? They came on the scene. Now, I'm not gonna lie. The first season, Wendy had issues with the lace front, but it doesn't matter because she came back with the second season with a boom. She had a bunch of cute kids. They had a beautiful house. Eddie was a successful lawyer, and Wendy had this lifestyle. She did a lot of she worked though. She was an adjunct professor, I think the first Black one in history at one of her universities. She was always on Fox. She was always on MSNBC. Andy loved her. Bravo, eating it up. And now we are looking at another Joe and Teresa Giudice story. Wendy has been fired from her job, of course. But more importantly, I want to know what's going on between her and Eddie, because this to me seems like a Teresa and Joe Giudice thing, right? Why would Eddie, because Eddie was the attorney, and I remember saying this, let me just say this. I remember thinking, he's a tax attorney? I didn't know, or whatever type of attorney, I didn't know that Eddie was such a successful attorney, that he was pulling in 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 million a year. Again, when you look at their lifestyle and you look at the way they did and what they had and the rings and the Hermes and all this other stuff, I was like, I've never heard about Eddie. What cases did he work on? How does he afford his lifestyle? But I suspended it because, I was busy with Simon. And I was like, I don't want to go after a Nigerian man. And y'all think I'm stereotyping, right? And Wendy had her paid appearances. Now we come to see that whatever was going on with Eddie's finances, Wendy's family is talking about, oh my God, Wendy dragged Eddie down. She's from a cursed bloodline. Eddie is probably going to be able to get a slap on the wrist, and Wendy is probably going to be the one that actually gets, if she's found guilty, of going to jail. Because even though this was insurance fraud, if you guys don't know, I'll explain in a second, it was all in Wendy's